One of the finest treaties in modern times was the Iran nuclear treaty, which led to Iran reducing its nuclear program. Iran claimed it was a peaceful nuclear program, and there's no evidence to suggest that it wasn't a peaceful nuclear program. But the West had doubts that it was peaceful, and decided to put pressure on Iran to dismantle its nuclear program. This culminated in a treaty which was signed by Rouhani's administration in Iran and Obama in America. The wonderful thing about this treaty was that the Iranians were complying with all their obligations under the treaty. And the inspectors had confirmed this, and on the other side, the sanctions were being reduced, and we were entering a new era of reconciliation between Western countries and Iran, and this was great news, fantastic. One of the greatest achievements, as I say, in modern diplomacy. But then that clown, President Trump, comes along and decides it was one of the worst deals in history, and decides to tear up the deal, which of course is causing great diplomatic issues, and has great ramifications. Who knows what this will lead to? Fortunately, some of the parties to the contract, to the treaty, Britain included, are going to continue with our side of the deal. But America, of course, is the biggest player, and they are again imposing punitive sanctions on Iran, which is going to cause all kinds of problems, and the Iranian people will suffer. Regime change, of course, is illegal in international law, and this is clearly the intention of the Americans to bring about the overthrow of the Islamic Republic. So we have a situation here where the Americans have broken the treaty. So how can they be trusted ever again when they reach agreement with any foreign power? All they have to do is have a change of administration, and then the new president comes in and says, "Well, I don't agree with the previous administration. I don't agree with the treaty, so we're not complying with the terms of that treaty." How does that bode for future international diplomacy, and how can that how can America ever be trusted again? The fact is they can't be. They certainly can't be by Iran. Iran have never trusted the Americans anyway since the 1953 coup d'etat, when the CIA organised the overthrow of the democratically elected Iranian president, Dr. Mossadegh. From that point onwards, the Americans have never been trusted in Iran. And this latest act by the Americans has really almost put an end to any likelihood of Iran trusting the Americans ever again. So this is it's an appalling situation that we're in. There is hope. There is there is a possibility that they could renegotiate the treaty, but I'm not hopeful that this will happen. You could say that the Americans. I'm not going to blame America and Americans because half of America is opposed to Trump in any case, and in the international scene, most countries and people around the world are unhappy about President Trump, and but it seems that Trump has introduced a new concept into international law and contracts, law of contract, and that new concept is that the party to the contract or the treaty that complies with the terms and conditions of that treaty or contract um, is at fault, and the party to the contract which breaches the terms and conditions is allowed to take action against the party that complies with its contractual and treaty terms. This is a new concept, and of course, is the opposite of the way that contracts are dealt with in law and international treaties. When a party fulfills its obligations under a contract, then that is what they're required to do. When a party breaches a contract, then it's the party that breaches the contract who should face legal consequences. But Trump has introduced a new legal concept where he's decided it's the other way around. This is a ridiculous situation, and I hope that the Americans see sense and force Trump to resign. My own personal view is that he will continue in power, but I have a funny feeling that he may not run again for re-election next time around. Um, if he does, then I think he won't be re-elected. He's brought a stain to America's international reputation in countries where America's always been popular. So it's very damaging for America, and let's hope that he doesn't continue into a second term of office.